Hey there, YouTube. Jared here with Godhammer227. Couple things that I want to go over today. So that means I'll probably have to make two parts of this video. Number one, I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock because it's my brother and sister's first day of school. I start on Monday. And I get on YouTube. Just, it helps me wake up to watch a few videos. And I found, just under the name of my channel, was this little thing that said 50 subscribers, and I was immediately awake, just like that. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, holy hell, I actually reached 50 subscribers. A little bit of housekeeping. Out of my Peterson Killarney, I am smoking some Cold Blood Red Moon, which has quickly become my new favorite. Very sweet, very mild. It's never bit me. It is very, very moist out of the tin, which is why I'm going to have problems keeping it lit because I just loaded this thing up and went to town. But it's extremely good. Very smooth and very flavorful. So, I reached 50 subscribers, which is incredible. And I was so elated. And just it was great because I felt like I'd spent so much time making all the videos and stuff, and I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks. I've been so distracted and stressed out with school and all that kind of stuff, so I haven't made a video in a long time. It's been like 2 weeks or something like that. Anyways, so I wanted to throw a huge shout out to a few people. Pipe Smoker Wales, constantly watching your videos and loving them, and it's like, you know what, that guy is doing great. He's doing great things. I love his videos. They're always funny. All your video editing is just amazing, man. Keep up that good work. It's so great, and I love it. Big Al the Crusher, I love your videos, man. I love your tats. I love your beard. Your beard is epic, and I love watching your channel. And a huge, probably the biggest shout out, no offense to anyone else who's commented on my videos, but this guy has been such a help at not only throwing my name out there in some of his videos, but also supporting me personally with the comments and sending me the cigars and stuff. And I still have the lighter and the cutter up there with my other pipes. Rory, Brotherhood of Cigar and Pipe Men. This guy is unbelievably nice. I'm sorry about the light, by the way. It's extremely bright and sunny today, and I can try and do that, cut out some of the natural light. But then again, it's nice and sunny, and I want to keep it that way because it's such a good day. But I want to thank him so much for all of his support, all of his help at getting my name out there with his shout outs and mentioning me in a few videos, and always commenting and always replying to my comments. And in my last video where I threw all those shout outs out, I was having trouble getting back to everyone just because I've been so busy and I've been so rushed with school, and I cannot tell you how much I don't want to go to school. That's one thing I want to talk about today. But first, acknowledgement. But Rory, you have been unbelievably supportive, and I cannot thank you enough for keeping me entertained with your videos, but also keeping me motivated to make more videos. I was afraid I was going to burn out on making these videos, but I have not, because ever since you started throwing the shout outs my way and people have started viewing my channel, especially the bigger people, people with more influence in the community, I guess. So like I said, huge shout out to Big Al the Crusher, Pipe Smoker Wales, Brotherhood of Cigar and Pipe Men, Rory, you're the best, Alex George, Rudy Peterson, all those guys. I mean, thank you so much for the comments and the kind words and always being so supportive. And it's people like you that keep me doing this, that make me love being part of this community, because that's what it is. It's a community. And so that's what I had to say about my 50 subscribers. Thank you all so much for helping me get there. Now, two things. If I can get to both of them in this video, which I hope I can. One, college. Now, I don't know how it is in, say, Australia for Alex George, or Canada for Rudy Peterson. That's another thing I like. It's worldwide. Everyone is involved. But college, in America, there's a severe problem. Not only is it extremely difficult to get out of college without being swamped with debt for the rest of your life, it's almost impossible nowadays. But it is also almost impossible to find an education that lets you make your own life. Because what education is designed to do in this country is train you to work for people, not train you to be your own boss, to be your own leader, to rule your own life, but trains you, gives you a diploma that says you have this title, which allows you to work for a company A, B, or C. And those companies A, B, or C are big corporate. Well, there's someone above you that controls you. Now, you can get to the top of that ladder, but rarely will you ever be that CEO. You are the luckiest person in the world if you can become the CEO. I honestly think. Now, look at how many billionaires, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. How many billionaires in the world went to college and graduated? Few, if any. How many millionaires? Like multi-millionaires, the Donald Trumps, those kinds of people that are making millions and millions of dollars. Not quite billions, but millions of dollars. Still not that many actually went through and completed a 4 to 8 year degree. It's surprisingly few. And the ones that do, and they're making millions of dollars, say an advanced neurosurgeon that works on separating Siamese twins, like Dr. Ben Carson, that could make millions of dollars because of their job, but they're still not free of employment. They have to work for someone above them, for the person who, say, owns the hospital. Well, see, that's the problem with education, in my mind, is that they don't train you how to be a billionaire by yourself. They train you how to work for someone else and hopefully, if you can, climb the corporate ladder to become the top. Hopefully, but you have to have those skills, and it's proven science that many multimillionaire billionaires are sociopathic. They can turn off empathy, they can turn off the human side of decision making and make decisions solely on their base intellect. And see, most humans can't think like that. It's just not in human nature. See, it's something wired in the brain that is different about them that allows them to think that way, to turn off the emotional side and think logically. Well, if I do this, sure, people will get hurt, but it will make money. And in the long run, money is better than people's hurt feelings. People will either forgive and forget or die. That money is still going to come in because of that decision you made. That's just an example. So that's what I'm thinking about college. It's really training you to work for someone else. And if you're lucky, or you get a big degree like a neurosurgeon or whatever, then you might be able to make some serious money. Now, the other point I wanted to make, it was just something that came up last night, and me and a friend of mine were talking about this because I have a lot of, and this is just me throwing out a bit of my personal life, and it's something I don't usually talk about with anyone. I mean, people who have known me for years I don't even talk about it with them. But I have a lot of health issues that involve my internal organs. I'm not like dying or anything. But if things were to, say, regress to a certain point, I could very well need transplants, or I would die. Or I'd need pieces cut out, remove certain organs, or parts of organs, just so the rest can function normally. Now, my friend, when he was like 3 or 4 years old, he got E. coli from KFC coleslaw. Now, this is not, I'm not telling you that KFC's bad, don't go to KFC. No, it was a freak thing that happened several years ago. It was like an epidemic that happened for a couple months, and he just happened to be one of the people that caught it. where some kind of contamination got into their coleslaw, and it was shipped out by accident. And people accidentally got this infected coleslaw with E. coli in it. And he just happened to be one of the people that got it. Now, he got E. coli, and his blood platelets, little red blood cells, they usually look like little discs, started growing spikes. And those spikes went through his organs and started shredding things. Well, they completely destroyed his kidneys. He was on dialysis as a child for, I think, 2 years or something like that. It was ridiculous. And I mean, it was just such a tragic story. And his dad even said that, like, he went through a severe personality change because now he's got a lot of different social quirks. He doesn't, I don't know, I don't want to, try and make fun of him or anything. And I think he would agree with me. He doesn't interact with human beings the same way most people do. In fact, the only reason he and I ever met was because I got sat next to him in 8th grade science, and I was like, "Ooh, I get to sit next to the nerd kid." And he has a rather nerdy disposition, He's kind of the small, skinny kid with the glasses and all that kind of stuff. Just your kind of stereotypical nerd. But I was like, "Oh, I get to sit next to the nerd kid. This is going to be an easy year." And he had this huge book. It was like that thick. I mean, it was huge, and it had this guy on the front with a sword that had chainsaw teeth. I was like, "Oh, wow. Hey, what's that book about?" And so we came together over this book series called Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer 40K. And it was the Gaunt's Ghost series, if anyone knows of that entire book series. So that's how we came together. But it shredded his kidneys, and now his kidneys, after years of medication and stuff like that, they work at 50%. He's got 50% kidney function, and he got to thinking, or me and him we just got to talking about it, and I said, "Well, dude, I'm telling you, if you ever need it, I've got organs. I got 2 kidneys. Take one. Whatever you need, I can gladly give you it." And he said, "You have to be the same blood type." And I was like, "I know that. You got to be the same blood type." And all these other factors come into play, like the time of death. It can't be outside of the body for so long before it has to be on ice and all that kind of stuff. So, we were just talking about this, and it got me thinking. His story is not so uncommon. There are thousands of people on organ donating lists. They're waiting for organs, or they might die if they don't get them in time. So I hate to be morbid, but I ask all of you, please consider becoming an organ donor. There are people out there, good people, that need organs to live. Let's say, just throwing the scenario out there, don't hope this happens to anybody. If, say, you were to die tomorrow in a car crash, there's someone in a hospital right now who is trying to live a good life, but for whatever reason, say their kidney stopped working, they really need that kidney. And I firmly believe that it doesn't stop at death. People believe in an afterlife. I don't technically believe in an afterlife, but I believe that doing something like that, you can live on. Because when your heart stopped, you gave someone else's heart the chance to keep beating. And I mean, that's so profound to me. You can keep someone else's heart beating even after you're long gone. You could be gone for 20, 30, 40 years, and that person who received that organ could still be alive and kicking and doing great things with their life. So I ask all of you, just consider being an organ donor. I don't know what your, spiritual views are, or if you have something against that for any religious reason. I know that, and even in my friend's situation, his religion doesn't allow blood transfusions. So when he said his mom was going to give him a kidney, but she won't give him blood, it doesn't really make much sense to me, but to each their own. Do what you want to do. So just think about that sometime. you don't need it after you're dead. You honestly don't. Like my dad says, well, maybe I'll need it where I'm going. I want to go with all my stuff. You know, a gallbladder might be worth $1 million in heaven. And I said, Dad, you're not going to heaven. You're going to the halfway house. That's the place where you have to kind of earn your way in. Because, you know, you weren't bad enough for hell, but, you know, you weren't quite heavenly. So you got to earn your way in. So he says, but I might need it where I'm going. I said, you're not going to need it. So it's just something I ask you all to consider. You know, long after you're gone, you could still live on through someone else because you gave them the gift of life, which is the greatest thing you could ever give anyone. So, didn't mean to get morbid there at the end, but I thank you all so much for the 50 subscribers. It means the world. I'm going to be on here a lot more often as I can because looks like with my schedule I get Tuesdays and Thursdays off, so that might, you know, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and weekends. So I might be able to make more videos, a lot more. And with school, I'll be stressed, so you know I'll be smoking more. So, thank you all so much again for all the support and for all 50 of those subscribers. Now, y'all, just keep doing what you do. You're all great. Take care.